Creighton continues the Ignatian-inspired approach of bringing together the very best academic training with a distinctive faith vision and approach to values that prepare graduates to make the greatest possible impact in the world. Creighton's Health Sciences Continuing Education is in a unique position to bring this dynamic mission to the wide variety of healthcare professionals who take part in our programs. For Ignatius, scientific research and teaching is in itself a fitting way to pursue the greater glory of God, because it helps us understand the wonder and complexity of God's creation.
Creighton's Ignatian heritage is deeply consonant with the values and faith traditions of the school's clinical partners, Allegiant Creighton Health in Omaha and St. Joseph's in Phoenix. Creighton and Allegiant Creighton Health have a shared heritage through the Sisters of Mercy, embodying the charisms of their foundress, Mother Catherine Macaulay. The sisters were uniquely called by their vows to serve the poor, the sick, and uneducated. They lived as contemplatives in action, with lives that were rooted by the mercy of God and formed by dedication to the compassion of Christ to serve the suffering of all of humanity.
We will now explore several Ignatian values that are particularly applicable to our approach to healthcare education, research, and clinical practice.
Cura personalis is a Latin phrase that is best translated as care that is personal. Whether Ignatius was training or leading soldiers, offering a spiritual exercise, or teaching students, he discovered those encounters were most effective when he took the time to know his charges personally, to show care and concern for them, and to adapt lessons to the uniqueness of their personality, ability, and experience. This approach shapes both our education of students and residents, as well as our interaction with patients and their families. Our patients do better when they experience care that is personal and when they notice that we show concern for them as a whole person, mind, body, emotions, and spirit.
Special concern for those most in need is a value at the very heart of Christ's teaching in the Gospels, but which also echoes through the teachings of the world's great faith traditions. And among people of goodwill, the Jesuits have made the teaching of this gospel mandate a key focus of their education for nearly 500 years. It is central to being men and women for and with others. It is important to think broadly in this area. Those most in need includes those who are most vulnerable, such as at the beginning or at the end of life, those who are most critically injured, those whose needs are greatest because their disease is rare or hard to treat, or those who live in areas where specialized care is not readily available.
Magis, a Latin term used by St. Ignatius, is often translated as the more, the greater, or the better or more effective. For Ignatius, the goal of both his spiritual exercises, retreats, and of his educational endeavors is to enliven men and women with a passionate desire to set the world on fire, to be engaged in transforming the face of the earth for the good of all people and for the greater glory of God. For St. Ignatius, accomplishing great things, doing the best and most effective things, requires a habit of constant strategizing, reflection, and adaptation. Prepare, act, evaluate, reflect, refine, adapt might be Ignatius's constant drumbeat as we pursue that which is for the greater glory of God and the greater benefit of God's people. Developing that habit of reflection is an essential element of Magis.
Commitment to a faith that does justice is the final core value we will address. The social teaching of the Catholic Church, the wider Christian community, and so many world faiths express the call to transform unjust social conditions and the variety of structures that diminish the lives of so many of our brothers and sisters. Issues of concern include economic injustice, inadequate sharing of the world's resources, lack of access to health care or education, fragmented immigration policies, the destructive effects of racism and other forms of prejudice and oppression. How do we do a better job of providing good health care to all? And how do we advocate effectively for those who are disadvantaged by these present structures?
By including Ignatian values in health sciences continuing education programs, we express Creighton's mission more explicitly and further differentiate our offerings. Everything we do in health sciences continuing education is fittingly Ignatian.